to, again, touch on Plant Moran. You guys seem to be using them a lot. And they were supposed to be used for our bond. Did you know about any lawsuits against them? That's another question that I have, if you could answer that. And also, Kyle, you just graduated college. You are a baby. I'm sorry. I might sound rude, but it's an honest statement. I have kids that are almost as old as you, and you haven't had a job in this district yet. You worked on the board during all of this stuff going on, which you state you knew nothing about, which is quite interesting that you wouldn't do checks and balances against your own superintendent, which I thought that's what the board was for, is to balance those things. And then also, real quick, I know that Mike likes to give history stories, so I'm going to give you a little one. Many years ago in 1776, Britain was over here, and Britain was doing some pretty nasty stuff. And so what happened? Their people rose up and they fought against them. I'm going to tell you right now, this will end up being a recall if you guys are not even more transparent. There is not enough stuff for me to go through. The ESSER grant is not broken down enough for me to tell what's what. There's money going every which way and not enough for the people to actually see where it's going. So just think about that. We are the revolution and you guys are Britain to us. Go ahead and answer.
Okay, I just wanted to give, I guess I want to open it up to the rest of the board because the question was stated that why weren't all the board members involved? I guess I would open it up if anyone wants to speak to that. And if they were, if they weren't.
Nope.
I just
You said there was a meeting with you, Mike, and HR, and then it was held off.
for the CFO, the exit interview for the CFO, that happened with me, the HR director.
Right, but
Correct.
when she asked that, she asked who was part of the plan of this whole changing of things.
Yeah, and that's why I said, from there, it got brought to the administrative level. From there, the plan was developed, brought to the board. The board was part of the planning process. Then it was brought, the proposed plan, to the unions, and then the unions were able to provide their feedback. The unions then, we went back, changed, made alterations based on that feedback, brought it back, came back with numbers, utilization, building, alterations, what we're proposing.
A lot of the times the board not in that discussion, we just get it drawn for a vote. So we're not into that a lot of the time before.
Don't you think that's important that you guys are a part of that discussion?
Ask
No.
other districts.
Sir, can you speak? I'm sorry.
If you ask other districts, I got friends that are in boards at Woodhaven and stuff, they're not brought in that either. It's the president, the superintendent, and then CFOs and all that.
And then you go over everything together as a
Then
board.
they
Yes.
present it to us, we look it over, and then we vote. That's
Yeah.
all that the board's for.
Okay,
The board is not involved in that stuff.
got it. Also, the whole Plant Moran thing.
Yeah, so I'll be honest with you, no, we hired Plant Moran, I would want to say 2, maybe almost 3 years ago, right after the election of the bond. And so from there, no, the Plant Moran does not share that with us. We signed into a contract with them related to the bond, so there's a contract between them.
You might want to look into it because they were sued because they didn't audit properly on these graves that were sold, and the people that bought them were actually pocketing the money and making families pay for the plots to be kept up. And there's lawsuits now against the families of the graves because they did not appropriately audit.
Okay.
So for a financial company to not even be auditing things the way they're supposed to be, I find it a little stressing that they're in
I
charge
will
of our
clarify,
finances.
like, we don't use them as our auditor for our
Auditors, no.
finances. This is,
No.
we use them for the utilization study
Yeah.
for seeing how we're best using our buildings and our properties.
Our auditors are Morgan and Taylor, I believe? Yeah, Morgan and Taylor.
Morgan and Taylor, and I also want to say that the Plant Moran that she's probably referring to, that's not the company we're using.
No. We have Plant Moran Cressa, which is.
Cressa,
Yes.
they
which is a-
split apart.
Yes.
They're not affiliated with the Plant Moran auditing company.
Yeah,
Oh.
yes.
Also, I did
Um,
call you. Sorry, this was from previous. You
Yes.
guys never
Yep.
answered.
Yep.
I called you and tried to get some information from you.
You know
before
what?
break.
I missed your call, so my apologies. If you send me an email, I can get you the information that you need, regarding the ESSER grant. It's public information.
Well, the stuff that's on the ESSER grant is not broken down enough. It's kind of a blanket statement of where the money went to, but it's
Yeah.
not very specific.
You know what? The Michigan Department of Education requires a certain format, and the district follows the format. So if you have any questions about it, we can sit down and I can, try to go through some things with you. But there's a specific format that every school district has to use,
For sure.
and the district has used that format.
And that's fine.
And then to your point about me not having a job in the district and sitting on the board, as a board member, you can't be employed in the school
I'm just
district.
saying you've never worked at a school.
I agree with you. I
So-
went to Taylor schools,
Interesting.
K through 12. I graduated. I substitute taught for about a year. I was born and raised in Taylor, and I was elected by the Taylor citizens. I was appointed at first by the board, and then was reelected by the city.
I know I elected you. I
yeah.
was here.
So that's how I got my seat.
And I'm a little disappointed, is all I'm saying. You were here during Griff. You were here during Ben.
I was not here during
You,
Ben.
okay, you
No.
saw the aftermath of Ben, I guess.
But no,
So,
I just want to make that point. So
it's
thank you.
fine.